we'll just do that, yeah. Okay.
Am I supposed to look at the camera? Or
You can look at me. You can look at the camera. We're good? Okay, great. With me now, Lady Bulldogs head coach Melanie Stone. Mel, really seemed like that, I think it was a 13-2 run there at the beginning of the second half, because, you know, we go 5 minutes of the first half without scoring, knocking the rust off, all that, but it really looked like they came out of the locker room pretty strong.
They did. You know, first half we came out, it looked like we had been off for 3 weeks and only had 5 practices. So, but they came back in the second half. They really got warmed up and had a fire lit at halftime in the locker room, and we got after it. So I was proud of them in the second half.
You broke out your first 2013 Fire and Brimstone speech.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We sure did, and they responded. So that was an exciting thing to see.
So Brittany Jones in there, she really did a nice job inside with the rebounds, and then you had Presley out there kind of working that pivot right there near the foul line to distribute the ball, and once that got going, really looked like, you know, about a step ahead of Delgado at that point.
Right, and that's something that we ran against them last time we played them, and they never made the adjustment. They made the adjustment a little bit in the first half. Second half, we really dominated with that, and the girls did a good job. We've been working on that, and I was real proud of them.
That was our one and only tune-up before, you know, we get into South Division play. Of course, you know, we had to knock the rust off, so, you know, this was a good game to do that, a non-conference. Right. But the way we played overall, I feel pretty good going into that game coming up Monday, and, you know, the grind coming up, you know, back and forth throughout the division.
Yeah, I feel confident about it. We've got one player that's going to come back. She's been sick with the flu, so she's going to work back into practice starting tomorrow, and then we'll have our full team back. So that's going to feel good as well. And I feel confident, you know, with the amount of practices we have ahead of us before Monday's game. I feel like we can cover what we need to get done and be prepared for Monday.
I'm going to switch gears on you here. You and your husband Adam, you guys are parents now. Adopted a little girl, a beautiful little girl. How has that been? Of course, it's wonderful always being a parent. I can attest to that, but trying to work through that in the basketball season, you know, I mean, trying to juggle all that. I'm sure that's been a new challenge for you guys, but a welcome one.
It has. Being a legal guardians of Aaliyah has been a blessing. And, you know, during football season, I was on call constantly, and now that it's basketball season, Adam's on call constantly, and I couldn't be more thankful. He makes it easy for me. He's actually at a game tonight, and his mother has really stepped up and taken good care of Aaliyah when we cannot be there. But it's a well-oiled machine by now, and we're doing a good job of communicating and making sure everything's taken care of, and she's easy to take care of. She's such an angel.
She is a sweetheart, and I also hear you've been putting a few of those basketballs in the crib at night. Is that?
She has a basketball, and she has a goal, and she knows how to shoot it. Yes.
She's got two good coaches to teach her. Mel, thanks a lot, and continued success here. And one more question before I let you go. We were so close to getting back to the playoffs last year, and I remember I asked you this when the season started. Now this is really when you start hitting in, hey, we got to not finish strong, but we do have to finish strong. But, you know, this is a crucial part of the season, even though it seems like we're just coming back, right?
It is crucial, and we've talked about it's not how we start the season, it's how we finish it, and we're taking it one game at a time, giving everything that we've got to every single second of every single game to make sure that we're meeting our goals and eventually getting to the state tournament.
Beautiful. Head coach Melanie Stone, Lady Bulldogs, a nice 54-35 win over Delgado. Go get something to eat and enjoy the boys' game. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot, Mel. And we'll get ready about 5 minutes away from Gulf Coast and Delgado, the men's action, as Melanie Stone nice enough to join us after the women's win, and the men's game coming up here in just a minute. Yes, I am in the booth. Welcome back to the Weathers Winsell Center. About a minute 40 away from Gulf Coast and Delgado men's action. The men's team for Gulf Coast 11-1 on a 9-game winning streak. Have not lost at home so far this season. Delgado comes in at 8-9. Back on November 6th, Gulf Coast beat Delgado 67-63. The Dolphins are 4-5 on the road and have lost 3 in a row heading into this one. So 2 streaks going in opposite directions. As you see the commanding head of Dean of Athletics, Ladd Taylor, barking instructions to the Bulldog crew. It's always a fluid situation for us here at Gulf Coast, but we keep it going pretty well. Now, one of the keys for the Bulldogs, a huge loss so far. You see that person walking across in the blue pullover. That is Angel Matias, the sophomore from Puerto Rico. And has a broken left foot. We don't know when he's going to be coming back. Talked to Patrick Wiltshire, the assistant coach for Gulf Coast. He said that's a huge blow. Now, before the break, guys like Giancarlo Santiago stepped up, Stacy Caraway. So let's see if they do that again coming up. Meanwhile, here in a few minutes, we're going to give us your starting lineups. We're going to pull double duty here. The first multitasking of 2013. Doing play-by-play and starting lineups. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the men's action tonight between Gulf Coast and Delgado. First, for the Delgado Community College Dolphins, your starting lineup is as follows. First at guard, a 5'11 sophomore from Franklinton, Louisiana, number 11, Tyson McGee. Also at guard, a 6'3 sophomore from Donaldsonville, Louisiana, number 22, Quentin Bernard. At forward, a 6'5 freshman from Harvey, Louisiana, number 30, Sean Boyd. Also at guard, a 6' sophomore from New Orleans, number 32, Melvin Davis. And at forward, a 6'4 sophomore from New Orleans, number 33, Jamon Gray. And now, with a record of 11-1 on the year, your Gulf Coast Bulldogs. At guard, a 6'2 freshman from Jackson, number 3, Chris Bilbo. Also at guard, a 6'3 sophomore from Jackson, number 5, Jamichael Hawkins. At forward, a 6'6 sophomore from Jackson, number 20, Darius Forrest. At guard, a 6'1 sophomore from Biloxi, number 21, Isaac Moore. And at forward, a 6'6 freshman from Raleigh, North Carolina, number 23, Stacy Caraway. The Bulldogs coached by Wendy Weathers and Patrick Wiltshire. And I hope the starting lineups were as exciting for you as they were for me as we get ready here between Gulf Coast and Delgado on Bulldog Live. Of course, as always, legendary Gulf Coast basketball coach Bob Weathers in attendance watching his son's team. Coach Weathers' wife. Much like the women, this is the men's tune-up before the South Division opener against Pearl River. That one's coming up Monday night at 8 o'clock. You can watch that one right here on mgccbulldogs.com. On the tip, Stacy Caraway and Sean Boyd for Delgado. Gulf Coast going from left to right to start the game. Is up. We're underway. Dolphins win the tip, and they'll be first on offense. Up front, Isaac Moore and Melvin Davis. Davis loses control, picked up by Forrest. Forrest out to Chris Bilbo for Gulf Coast. Already a turnover by Delgado. Play a little matchup man-to-man. Forrest kicks it inside to Stacy Caraway. Caraway with the nice layup, and Gulf Coast on the board first. Caraway, Moore, Santiago filling in, Angel Matias. Now at the other end, that jumper is good by Jamon Gray of Delgado. We're tied at 2, painfully early here at Perkinston. Double team pressure on Bilbo as he brings it up. Chris inside with the jumper off the backboard, no good. Rebound Dolphins. And then knocked away, but Dolphins retain possession. Opening moments tied at 2, Bulldogs and Dolphins. Gulf Coast in a 3-2 matchup zone. Guards and small forwards very active on defense. Now that jumper by Gray, no good. Rebound, Isaac Moore for Gulf Coast. Out to Hawkins. Quickly to Forrest. Darius, long jumper. Shoots the air ball, but Bilbo gets the rebound for Gulf Coast. Now back inside to Forrest. Darius with the inside position and the bucket. There's Forrest, Moore, part of that team that won the second straight state title last year. Now a walking call on Delgado, called on Quentin Bernard. The Bulldogs get it back. Gulf Coast going for their 3rd straight MACJC state title. Long way to go on that one. But this season they're off to an 11-1 start. Bilbo, pick from Cantway. Hawkins to Forrest. Back out to Hawkins at the top of the key. Isaac Moore wide open for 3. Drano. Isaac Moore representing B-Town. Gulf Coast quickly up by 5, 7-2. B-Town being, of course, Biloxi, my hometown. Now back the other way comes Delgado. Moore out front, putting pressure on Davis. Davis inside layup, no good. Rebound to Darius Forrest, and the Bulldogs coming back the other way. Bilbo picks up the pace, a little stutter move, inside jumper's good, and it's 9-2 as Chris Bilbo gets in on the action. So a good start by Gulf Coast. Of course, remember, they've been out of action for 3 weeks as well. Delgado trying to work it around, 18 on the shot clock. Inside pass, kicked around. Back out, taking the shot is Davis, no good. Rebound Delgado to Bernard. He shoots the little floater, and that's good for the second bucket for Delgado, 9-4. And quickly the Dolphins take a timeout as they find themselves behind 9-4 with 16:44 to go here in the first half. Gulf Coast runs that motion offense. Constant movement. Guards gonna play like guards and forwards. You don't see a lot of true centers anymore. You don't see those 6'11", 6'10", 7-foot guys much. Except at the next level. We had a couple of those, remember Isa Sorte last year. Now Delgado, a little 2-3 trap here. Mess up the Bulldogs' rhythm. They work it across, Caraway to Chris Bilbo. Delgado drops back into a 2-3 zone. Now Isaac Moore fires another 3, no good. Hawkins with the rebound in the key, and the floater goes in. The first points of the game for Jamichael. Gulf goes back up by 7. At the other end, Dolphins trying to answer the layup, no good. Rebound underneath, the shot by Gray is no good. We'll have our first foul of the game, and that'll be on Hawkins. And going to the line, Jamon Gray, the forward from Brother Martin High School in NOLA. He'll shoot 2. Grossman rattles around and no good. Into the game is Patrick Gates for Delgado. Coming out is Bernard. Coach Weathers talking about the setup with Bilbo. Both foul shots missed by Gray, and Gulf Coast retains possession, 11-4. First 5 minutes of the first half here in Perkinston. Bilbo looking over to Moore. Bilbo swinging it around to Hawkins. Hawkins with the jumper, and that's good. Just inside the three-point line, but it's a two-pointer, and Gulf Coast now up by 9, 13-4. They turn the defensive pressure up at the top of the key. Pass inside, knocked away by Caraway, picked up by Bilbo, another turnover. Chris bringing it across the timeline. Much pressure out front, Tyson McGee shadowing him. Bilbo taking it all the way in, then kicks it back out. Hawkins for three, in and out. Rebound, Delgado coming back the other way. Pretty execution, but the shot didn't fall. Now the short jumper is good by Gray for Delgado. Inside 15 minutes to go first half, a 7-point lead by the Bulldogs. Trying to extend their winning streak to 10 in a row. Now Moore in the lane, throws it up, no good. Rebound Delgado. Sean Boyd's done a nice job so far for the Dolphins on the boards. Speaking of Boyd, he puts up a three, no good. Rebound Gates with the layup. Back-to-back buckets for Delgado. Gets head coach Wendell Leathers up off the bench. Put some mild pressure on Bilbo is McGee. Bilbo works around him, kicks it inside, and a foul call. And I believe that's going to be on Tyson McGee, and it is. It'll be the first foul of the game on Delgado. Starting five still in the game for Gulf Coast. The inbound to Caraway. Out to Hawkins. Inside to Moore. Moore to Forrest for three. No good. But it'll go back to Gulf Coast. Ryan Elfage checking into the game for Delgado. Couldn't control the rebound. Bilbo will inbound it for Gulf Coast to Moore. Bulldogs up by 5. Inside, Caraway. A floating mini skyhook, no good. Now coming back the other way, Delgado taking it to the hole and in is Tyson McGee. And that's 6 straight points by the Dolphins. As quickly as it got to be a 9-point lead, that 9-point lead for Gulf Coast now down to 3. Gulf Coast going to regroup here. Forrest was cut off by McGee, and quickly McGee picks up his second foul of the game. McGee will sit down, and coming back in is Jamon Gray. First action, Caraway takes a seat. Coming in, Giancarlo Santiago, the forward from Puerto Rico. And Carlos done a nice job filling in as well for Angel Matias. Now JaMychal Hawkins spin move, shot no good, and he's called for steps. So a hot start for Gulf Coast. Now a little bit of a lull. Maybe this is where that 3-week layoff, the rust comes in. 13-10 Gulf Coast, 13 minutes to go, first half. Taking it all the way in is Davis, and he'll go to the line as he's hacked. Giancarlo picks up his first foul. Melvin Davis at the line, also from New Orleans. Played at McDonough. And hits his first foul shot. Second one on the way. It's good, and it's a 1-point game. Also in for Gulf Coast now, Shelton Willis checking in. Ready for him to score, so I can say, what you talking about, Willis? Gulf Coast beats the pressure. Willis has done a nice job out at point for Gulf Coast, also from the Jackson metro area. Willis looking for Santiago inside, can't find him, so they'll keep it outside with 15 on the shot clock now. Gio gets it to Bilbo, to Hawkins with 10 on the clock. Bilbo inside to Santiago, works his way in with the floater, and Santiago hits his first bucket of the game. It breaks a little mini scoring drought for the Bulldogs. They're back up 15-12. Santiago didn't play much last year. He also had a leg injury that kept him out most of the year. His injury is always the great equalizer, as driving inside and scoring is Gales, and it's a one-point game again. Bilbo working it to Forrest. Forrest works inside. The floater's no good. Santiago can't handle the rebound. Going back the other way, Delgado, the shot up and off the mark by Davis. Here comes Willis picking up the tempo, coming the other way. Little slide step, the layup no good, knocked away, and Delgado's ball. I was talking to Patrick Wilshire before the game, saying losing Matias for the majority of the season, a huge blow to the Bulldog offense. Hell, 6'4", but plays bigger than that. Also worked the ball, and a nice underhanded layup that time by Davis, and Delgado's up by 1. So after a slow start, the Dolphins coming on strong here to take the lead. They're trying to break a 3-game losing streak. Going down hard is Willis as he kicks it out to Hawkins. Hawkins in and out with the floater. No good. Dolphins coming back the other way. That's Davis. Brings it back out, and Boyd will set it up. Now a long 3 by Davis. Long rebound. Hawkins to Bilbo. Floats through, can't hit the layup. The rebound comes to Santiago. He can't hit it, but a foul is called. And on the rebound, Santiago called for his second foul very quickly, and right now we're going to have a timeout. Coach Weathers trying to get everybody in sync, telling them, hey, this is for real now. We got to get our game in gear as Delgado leads it by 1. 10 minutes to go, 10:33 to go here in the first half. And as always, we appreciate you joining us here on Bulldog Live. And some basketball games coming up. We'll also do some Gulf Coast baseball later on this spring. On the floor for Gulf Coast, Chris Bilbo, Darius Forrest, Shelton Willis, Stacy Caraway, and Jamichael Hawkins. When you look at Shelton Willis, it's a strong resemblance to former Bulldog guard Jeremiah Dunnings, who's now up at William Carey. Delgado with the ball and a 1-point lead. Driving in, kicking it back out. Forrest with the steal. Bilbo coming back the other way. Nice underhanded layup, but it won't fall. Delgado back the other way. Davis guarded by Willis. And a foul inside on the Dolphins. That's Patrick Gales. Some other action in the JUCO world, men's basketball. Kahoma leads Jones 50-37 at halftime. Arkansas Baptist leading Itawamba 26-24. I'll update you in a few minutes with some other scores as Gulf Coast can't hit again. Delgado coming back the other way. Now taking a long 3 is Davis, no good. He'll shoot it again, and this time hit it. Check that. That was Quentin Bernard. Delgado's up by 4. The ebb and flow of this game going in Delgado's favor right now with 9:18 to go in the first half. Now Caraway with the jumper. Rattled around and no good. Delgado with another rebound. On the shot clock, Bilbo guarding Davis. Now an NBA 3, no good by Quentin Bernard, and Gulf Coast with the rebound. That was a big boy three-pointer attempt right there. Willis outside to Forrest, short baseline jumper is good, and maybe that'll get the Bulldogs back on track here. They're down by 2, 19 to 17, 8:35 to go, first half. And as you see, Chris Anderson on the controls, throwing in a couple of replays to whet the appetite of basketball fans. It's Gray out front to Gales. Gales inside, working on Caraway. And Stacy will get called for the foul, his first. And I believe that'll send Gales to the line. Gales played at East St. John High. Betting he was teammates with Gulf Coast wide receiver DeQuil Williams, who also is from LaPlace and East St. John. Now checking back in, Isaac Moore. Shelton Willis will take a rest. Delgado makes a couple of changes as well. Coming out is Gray, coming in is Bernard. Second one on the way by Gales is good, and it's a 3-point lead for Delgado. Bilbo brings it across the timeline. Brian Elfage steals it away, and Elfage is fouled by Bilbo. Bilbo got a little lazy that time, and Elfage made him pay, and he's going to go to the line. Chris's first foul of the game. With 8:01 to go, Dolphins up by 3. First one by Elfage is no good. He's from New Orleans as well, as are most of the Delgado players. Second one off the front iron. Hawkins with the rebound for Gulf Coast. Now to Bilbo. Let's see if the Bulldogs pick up the tempo here. Working the motion offense. Wide open is Hawkins for the 3. Looks like he couldn't get it set on his hand. No good. Delgado with the rebound. Wide open and missing the dunk is Gales. Now coming the other way is Hawkins. One dunk missed, another converted. That'll get this Winslow City crowd going. Now they say in baseball, chicks dig the long ball. In basketball, they dig the dunk as Forrest comes out and is called for the foul. .7:18 to go first half. Delgado up by 1. Hawkins leads Gulf Coast with 6 points. Bilbo out front. Melvin Davis. .13 on the shot clock. Good defense by Gulf Coast. That long 3 is no good by Bernard. Coming back the other way is Hawkins. In and out move over to Bilbo. And Gulf Coast to reset the offense. 6:33 to go. Now Hawkins Takes it inside, and that is rejected with authority by Boyd, but the rebound goes to Bilbo, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Bilbo loses control, loose ball, coming back the other way is Boyd. Looked like Boyd stepped on the end line, and he did, and it will go back to Gulf Coast. .6:13 to go. Delgado leading by 1, 20-19. Just joining us, Gulf Coast 11-1 on the year. They've won 9 in a row, and they're 5-0 at home. Now in a battle with the Dolphins. Hawkins over to Isaac Moore for 3, in and out. Rebound Boyd for Delgado, coming back the other way. Melvin Davis, bounce pass, nice one, and the layup is no good. That's 2 or 3 layups that Delgado has missed. Maybe that's why they're 8-9 on the year. You can't miss those. Now at the other end, it's Hawkins. Kicks it inside to Caraway. A little floating left-handed no-look layup goes for Stacy. Gulf Coast back in front by 1, 21-20. And a turnover that time by Delgado. Gales on the pass, couldn't get that to fall. As we said, more Gulf Coast basketball action coming up Monday night. As Pearl River comes to town, the arch rivals. It'll be the first of 2 Highway 26 basketball battles. As that foul called on Terrell Patterson, who's checked in the game for Delgado. Patterson, a freshman from, you guessed it, New Orleans. Near the 5-minute mark here of the first half, Gulf Coast up by 1 on the Dolphins. Now Hawkins in some trouble, threw that one away. On the break, it's Davis. And the reverse layup falls, and Delgado now up by 1. Hawkins trying to make something happen that time. Now some pressure out front. Caraway open, top of the key. Jumper's no good. Moore thought he had the rebound. Now the loose ball. Good hustle by Caraway to get that one back. Moore inside to Hawkins. The drop step, no good. No foul called. Caraway picks it up, partially blocked. Delgado with the rebound, and back the other way. Now Davis loses control, and it goes back to Gulf Coast. Weathers wanted a foul that time, but it wasn't called. 4:17 to go. And Delgado will call timeout. They have a 1-point lead, 22-21 over the Bulldogs. See Patrick Wiltshire talking to the ref saying, how about some love on that foul, huh? As we said, Gulf Coast trying to work through the injury of sophomore Angel Matias. The last 2 seasons, Gulf Coast has done a great job in division play. Go back and look, but I think the record's something like 10-1 both seasons, maybe. Can't remember exactly how many division games we play, but it's a pretty good record. At Gulf Coast, of course, is a long road. We haven't even started, well, we started division play back in December, but we haven't started it here in 2013. If they can pull that off, the state tournament, they'd be South Division champs, and the state tournament would be right here in the friendly confines of the Weathers-Winslow Center. There's a lot of ball to be played until then. A lot of ball to be played in this game as Delgado leads it by 1. 4:17 to go here in the first half. Bilbo gets it into Moore. Elfage on Bilbo. Hawkins. Forrest inside to Caraway, had position and gets the rebound. Caraway's making his presence known in the paint. Stacy's 6'6". And has done a nice job getting position inside. The Bulldogs lead it by 1. Now loose ball grabbed by Caraway. Over to Darius Forrest. The sophomore kicks it to Hawkins. Hawkins pulls up, out to Moore. Moore tried to get it back to Hawkins, but that pass deflected. Delgado coming back the other way. And just like that, Hawkins picks the pocket of Davis. It goes to Forrest. Thought about going inside to Moore, but now Gulf Coast will set up the offense with a 1-point lead. And working the motion, Hawkins to Moore. Moore at the top of the key. Hawkins, a long-range 3, no good. The tip in by Bilbo wouldn't go. Chris couldn't believe that. Now a 3 from the other end is no good by Davis, and the rebound to Gulf Coast. Less than 3 to go the first half. Bulldogs up by 1. Out front is Forrest, inside to Caraway. Nice move with the fadeaway jumper, won't fall. Patterson for the rebound. When you watch these games this year, you'll see why these guys are at this level. There's a lot of raw skill there, but it's got to be honed. Some guys working on their game. A nice job by Bilbo deflecting that pass. And now Delgado's only got 10 seconds to work with on the shot clock. Inside is Elfage, knocked away. Nice job by Hawkins. Going the other way is Bilbo. Chris just breezes by the defender for the layup for his 4th point of the game, and a 3-point lead for Gulf Coast as we hit the 2-minute mark to go here in the first half. Davis out front for the Dolphins. Inside, kicks it back outside to Elfage. Had to adjust his shot. Good defense. Tipped around and on the line going back to Gulf Coast. Patterson had control, but I think he stepped on the line, and Gulf Coast retains possession. So Michael Hawkins and Stacy Caraway both with 6 points for Gulf Coast here in the first half to lead the scores. Darius Forrest inside, back outside to Hawkins. Low post over to Caraway. 15 on the shot clock, 1:23 to go here in the first half. Shot clock at 10. Bilbo, Caraway to Forrest. Inside to Caraway. Nice drop step move and another bucket by Stacy Caraway. His 8th point of the game. It's a 5-point lead. 1 minute to go. Now a 3 for Delgado off the front iron. 3 on 2. Bilbo with the delayed step. He's hacked, he's fouled, he scores, and he'll go to the line. Believe it or not, this is the first foul shot of the game for Gulf Coast. It comes with 54 seconds left in the first half. Just to give the Bulldogs an 8-point lead. Bilbo can't convert. And the other way is Davis. A little playground move can't fall. There's 36 on the game clock, 26 on the shot clock, so a 10-second differential. As the Bulldogs slow it down, leading by 7. Delgado packed into that 2-3 zone. Now Moore traveled, got a little too fancy, and that'll go to Delgado with 19.8 to go in the half. Seven on the clock. Davis guarded by Bilbo. They're going to have to do something quick. Davis, the jumper at the buzzer is no good. So Gulf Coast will take a 7-point lead into the locker room, leading 29-22 over Delgado. We'll take a break once again. We'll see the Gulf Coast cheerleaders in action. And we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Or I will anyway. Now let's watch the Bulldog cheerleaders under the direction of Shelly Campbell. Welcome back to the Weathers Winslow Center. Gulf Coast leading 29-22 at halftime. I'm going to show you one of the cooler plays of the first half. A nice little transition bucket coming up by Jamichael Hawkins. Look at that. Here we go. Here's that replay. Here's the Hawkins dunk. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll give you more of the scoreboard. You know, we're in 16:9 aspect ratio, just to let you folks know. We were at 4:3. There it is right there. Can you run it back again there, Chris? We can show the scoreboards too. It's only a couple of years old, you know. That's good. There it is. Hawkins. You see, that got the crowd going because the Bulldogs were in a little bit of a funk at that point. And that got the crowd going. Now Gulf Coast up by 7 at halftime. Leading scorers for the Bulldogs, Stacey Caraway with 8 points, Hawkins with 6, Chris Bilbo with 6, Darius Forrest with 4, Isaac Moore had a 3-pointer, and Giancarlo Santiago had a bucket as well. Men's basketball score from Colin. Baton Rouge leads Colin 18-12. We'll try to update you as I get some more. At halftime, Baton Rouge leads at 24-18. Coahoma leading Jones by 18 with 10 minutes left in men's action. Tough night for Jay Ladner and the Bobcats against Coahoma. Jay was the longtime head coach of St. Stanislaus, now up in Ellisville. Now we're ready for the second half to begin. Gulf Coast going from right to left. And Isaac Moore tried to go inside to Darius Forrest, who didn't even see the pass. Now coming back the other way with the quick transition layup, Melvin Davis. Now Forrest the other way to Caraway, couldn't handle it, shoots and is fouled. And he'll shoot 2. Stacey's done a nice job tonight, the 6'6" forward in Raleigh, North Carolina. First one, front iron, but good. Caraway with 9 points in the game. And he's got 10. Bulldogs back up by 7, 31-24. And with the other win, a little loose ball action. It's Bilbo, pulls up, hits the short jumper, no good. Rebound to Forrest, and he gets the putback for the Bulldogs. Now back up by 9, 33-24. Now long three. Front iron no good by Davis. Coming back the other way quickly. Bilbo. Bilbo is called for charging. Didn't pull up in time. And that's Chris's second foul. Opening moment, second half. Gulf Coast up 33-24. Bulldogs going for their 12th win of the year against only one defeat. Floor. Nice job by Forrest saving that one on the deflected pass. On the floor for Gulf Coast is Hawkins, Forrest, Moore, Caraway, and Bilbo, who is in the Hawkins. JaMychal can't get that one to fall. It's a nice try. Coming back the other way is Davis for Delgado. Davis over to Tyson McGee, and that's a transition bucket for Delgado. (33-26). Bulldogs leading. Going for their 10th win in a row. Isaac Moore out front. Caraway trying to get position inside on Boyd. Bilbo to Hawkins to Moore. Caraway at the low post. Nice inside look to Hawkins for the easy layup. JaMychal's got 8. Gulf Coast leads by 9. 35-26. The other end, it's Davis trying to work against Forrest. And that pass is picked off by Hawkins. Hawkins 2-on-1. The alley-oop to Bilbo. Can't hit the dunk. Going the other way is Boyd. He's going to try to throw it down, and he's fouled by Caraway. Second foul on Stacy. It was a 2-on-1 break that Bilbo couldn't finish. First foul shot by Boyd, no good for Delgado. Delgado trying to even their record at 9-9. Second one on the way, also no good, but the rebound goes to Jamon Gray. Gray takes it in for the hoop, so they got 2 on that trip anyway, and the lead's back to 7 for the Bulldogs. Bilbo working on Quentin Bernard. Now inside, Chris kicks it out. Hawkins thought about the 3, now dribbles in, shoots at the top of the key, swishes that one. 10 points for Hawkins, and 9-point lead for Gulf Coast. Now a nice little inside-out move, and a bucket from Melvin Davis for Delgado. Still settling in here in the second half, 16:26 to go in regulation. This 5 that's on the floor for Gulf Coast has been in most of the game. We've seen Giancarlo Santiago. Sheldon Willis also in. Now Forrest loses control. Coming back the other way are the Dolphins. A little 360 move that time by Mel Davis. And now the lead's cut to 5, 37-32. Bilbo being worked on by McGee, kicks it back out. Hawkins for 3, he's fouled. He'll shoot 3 from the line. The guys are guarding people outside the 3-point line. You want to get a hand in their face, but you don't want to make contact, because then the shooter gets 3 foul shots. Gulf Coast 2 out of 3 so far from the line, making 2 out of 4. And the second team foul on Delgado here in the second half. Santiago comes in to give Stacey Caraway a break. Hawkins hit the second one. And he hits the third one. Delgado also makes a couple substitutions and the lead back to 7. That's what it was at halftime. If you're enjoying our first streaming video broadcast of Gulf Coast basketball here in 2013, the women got a win. Guys trying to do the same as Santiago gets the rebound on that missed layup. And Gulf Coast coming back the other way. It's Hawkins, fake the 3, now driving inside. The layup no good, and I believe he got fouled. And he did, so Jamichael will go back to the line. Hawkins with 12 points now to lead Gulf Coast. And now he's got the rhythm going from the charity stripe. And now he's hit 4 in a row from there. And the lead's back up to 9 at 41-32. Bulldogs in a little man-to-man action here. Shot from Gales no good, and the Bulldogs with the rebound. Now it's Bilbo over to Hawkins. On the motion to Forrest, that jumper front iron. Santiago with the rebound. It looked like he traveled, and he did. He was looking for the foul, and instead he took steps. Said at the top of the broadcast, Santiago Caraway filling in for the injured Angel Matias, nursing a broken foot. Now a nice move inside and a reverse layup by Elfage for Delgado. Look at that again. Split the 2 defenders, got the bucket. Now Elfage putting some pressure on Bilbo as he brings it across the timeline. Now inside Santiago. Nice pivot move, couple of drop steps. The layup won't go. Delgado with the rebound, and in transition, it's Davis taking it all the way, and he gets the hoop. And now it's a 5-point lead and a blocking foul called. And slow to get up on the near sideline is Quentin Bernard. So to add insult to injury, Bernard's going to take a break. Bilbo took a lot of that inertia as well. He's going to try to shake that off as he gets ready to inbound it. 14th foul of the second half on Delgado. There's a nasty little spill right there, right in front of the scorer's bench. 14:07 to go. Second half, Gulf Coast leading 41-36. Here's Bilbo. Still a little gimpy after that. Brings it across the line. Now he's at a trap, and now calls timeout. He could see the trap coming and knew he didn't have any help, so he wisely called time so the Bulldog offense could regroup. With a 5-point lead, 14 minutes to go in the second half. Gulf Coast cheerleaders this evening performed at the halftime of the girls' game with the Dogwood Girl Scouts. Kind of fun. And when division play starts up, we'll have the Perk Pep Band entertaining us with some musical melodies, along with the lovely Perkettes. Now back in action. Great ball work by the Dogs. Santiago finishes with the layup. They really ran the offense to perfection there. Now at the other end, that shot no good by McGee. And the loose ball is going to go to Gulf Coast. So Bilbo's going to bring it back up with the Bulldogs leading by 7. 13 minutes to go, second half. As soon as he comes across the timeline, they try to trap him. Meanwhile, JaMychal Hawkins from downtown McHenry, that's a 3. And the Bulldogs up by 10. JaMychal feeling it here in the second half. Now that shot going nowhere, but a foul is called. And that is JaMychal Hawkins, his second foul. Hawkins was 17 for Gulf Coast. We've seen last couple of times down, Bilbo's brought the ball right about at the half-court line, and Delgado's come out to trap him. But that's left other people open for Gulf Coast. Meanwhile, at the line for Delgado, Melvin Davis hit his first foul shot and converts both to cut the lead to 8. Now a little 2-3 half-court trap by Delgado. Gulf Coast breaks it with no problem. Now kind of a front-court trap. And now the Dolphins back off. Bulldogs by 8 here in the second half. Santiago on the inside goes hard to the hole, and he's hacked. And he'll go to the line. There were 3 guys on him, and he was still able to get it to the rack, so nice job by Giancarlo. And he'll shoot 2. And the referee talking to him, making sure he's okay. When you're playing in the paint, you got to be a man. Doesn't matter what level you're playing at. The first one is good. It's Giancarlo and Matias following Raymond Centrone. Now at Middle Tennessee State, our Puerto Rican connection here at Gulf Coast, and lead back to 10. Now a long 3 off the back iron is no good by Davis. Fighting inside for the rebound, picked up by Delgado's McGee. Now McGee coming back with the reverse layup. That's no good. Tipped away, and Delgado will retain possession. You see Wendell Weathers here getting on Isaac Moore. Moore was kind of snowbirding that time. He wanted him inside trying to fight for the rebound. Dolphins bring it in. They're down by 10 with 12:23 to go here at Perkinston. And McGee over to Davis. Elfage doing a little motion of their own is Delgado. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Inside. That one no good. And before the shot, steps taken by Samson James, who's checked in. Samson from Kentwood, Louisiana, the home of Kentwood Spring Water and Britney Spears. Coming back the other way, Chris Bilbo, as the Bulldogs continue to lead by 10. Bilbo to Moore. We're here on the wing now. Moves it around. Forrest on the inside trying to fight through 2 people. Misses. Shoots. Gets it blocked by James. Now a 3-on-2 the other way. Inside on the layup is McGee for Delgado. McGee on Bilbo here, harassing him in the backcourt. Well, brings it up, loses control, and that's going to go to Gulf Coast. I didn't see anybody get their hand on it, so Bulldogs might have gotten a break there. Leading by 8. Bilbo wide open as Hawkins, 4-3, Michael gets hot. You got to like that. Going inside is Delgado. Missing the layup is Davis. But on the putback, Jamon Gray converts. And after that, a 30-second timeout by the Dolphins. They're down by 9, 51-42. Hawkins leading Gulf Coast with 20 points. As we hit the halfway point of the second half. Enjoying the streaming video broadcast wherever you are in internet land. Hoping we'll get some international viewers before it's all said and done. We had a bunch of those during football season. My main hope is that our friends in Bat Cave, North Carolina tune into basketball as well. Play resumes. Bulldogs get it across the timeline with no problem. Bilbo being guarded. Kicks it over to Hawkins. Feeling it, another three, no good. Now inside, it's kicked around and Gulf Coast retains possession. And now the scoreboard goes blue again, but we'll get that taken care of. Meanwhile, Bilbo inside, back outside to Hawkins, inside to Santiago. He fights his way through two men to hit the layup. Good job by Giancarlo. 8 points for him. Now the other way with the rejection is Forrest. He swatted it away from McGee. James with the jumper, no good. Bilbo coming the other way. Gulf Coast to turn up the tempo. Now the alley-oop. Can't hit the layup is Forrest, but Santiago is there for the putback. He's got 10. Gulf Coast up now 55-42. Inside 9:45 to go in the second half. Inside goes to James. Little jumper no good. Getting his own rebound is Tyson McGee. He can't hit the layup, and with authority going back up is Santiago. Bulldogs on a mini run here, kind of opening this thing up. Now inside, it's Giancarlo again. No foul called, but he does get the layup. He's got 12. 3 straight buckets for Giancarlo. And suddenly Gulf Coast is up by 15 inside 9 minutes to go, second half. At the other end, the jumper on the baseline, no good by Davis, but Delgado retains possession. Isaac Moore comes out of the game. He's replaced by Stacey Caraway. Caraway's got 10 points for Gulf Coast. I like the work put in last 2 minutes or so by Santiago. Now with the jumper no good is Bernard. Rebound to Jamon Gray in the bucket for the Dolphins. Bilbo coming back the other way. Bulldogs lead by 13, 57-44. They're going after their 10th win in a row. Now Bilbo taking it to the rim and in. And that's his first bucket of the second half. Quickly the other way we go. It's Bernard driving the hole on the baseline to answer that bucket. Still a 13-point lead. Gulf Coast only up in the tempo when they have to. Bilbo going all the way again. This time he can't convert. The rebound coming the other way. Brian Elfage, no good. Rebound kicked around and out of bounds to Delgado inside 8 minutes. And now Wendell Weathers calling a timeout to regroup for the last 7:55. His team has built a 13-point lead, 59-46, over the Delgado Dolphins. And while this game counts, they all count. We start counting in the division standings coming up Monday when the Pearl River Wildcats come to town. Coached by the Sly Fox himself, Richard Mathis. And there you see Michelle Seacool, Shelly Campbell, and Tate Campbell. Of course, Tate is the daughter of head coach Steve Campbell. Good crowd here tonight. They know this was a warm-up heading into the Pearl River game, so I think they're saving their energy for Monday night. I'm feeling it's going to get rowdy in here before that one's over with. Back on the floor for the Bulldogs, Hawkins, Santiago, Caraway, Forrest, and Bilbo. Let's see how the last 7:55 goes for Gulf Coast. Delgado inbounds. Into Elpage for three, no good. Tipped away but recovered by Bernard for Delgado. Bernard to Boyd. Melvin Davis will set it up outside. Now the jumper by Bernard, no good. Inside position and a rebound by Darius Forrest. Bulldogs by 13, trying to put away the pesky Delgado Dolphins. The inside pass to Hawkins. He's stripped going the other way. Melvin Davis one-on-one with Bilbo, and he converts on the layup. Now at the other end, it's Hawkins inside to Caraway. At position, misses the layup, but the putback is good by Darius Forrest, who converts on his 8th point of the evening. And the lead back to 17, or 13, excuse me. Now a long three is no good by Delgado, trying to follow a shot and get the layup. Going all the way in is Davis. A nice effort by Melvin Davis. He's worked hard tonight for Delgado. Going back the other way, Forrest now in trouble. Out to Bilbo, and that's going to be a reach-in foul on Jamon Gray. .6:25 to go. The Bulldogs leading by 11. They've got the ball. They're ready to get back in business. Now it's Hawkins, guarded by McGee. As that goes out of bounds, and Gulf Coast will reset. A couple of guys from last year's state championship team in the house tonight, Guy Payne and Jeremiah Dunnings, who earlier I told you looks a lot facial recognition to Shelton Willis. Now inside JaMichael Hawkins to Caraway, working for position, and he draws the foul, so he'll go to the line. Payne and Dunnings continuing their playing career up at William Carey. Bulldogs going for 3 straight state titles, and the road to that really begins coming up Monday when Pearl River comes in. The first one on the way for Stacy is off the back iron. Now final, Coahoma surprises the number 20th ranked Jones Bobcats 86-72. So Jay Ladner's team falls to 10-2 on the year. The second one is an air ball by Stacy. Delgado comes back the other way, 6:03 to go, and the Bulldogs leading 61-50. See if they can finish strong here, put another win in the column. That would be their 10th in a row. Davis to Boyd. Boyd out front. That had to be a walk. Nope. I mean, you could take that jump step, I understand, but I always thought you couldn't take it 3 times. Perhaps that's Australian rules basketball. Anyway, 3rd foul on Giancarlo Santiago sends Melvin Davis to the line. Never really understood the jump step. To me, it'll always be traveling, but I guess I'm old school as Davis hits the first one. Now the Bulldog lead is down to 9, 61-52. Bilbo, Caraway, DeForest, who walked, tried to move before he dribbled, and that's a turnover. And now Delgado can cut it to 7. Dolphins just kind of hanging around here. 5:38 to go in the contest. Davis blows by Bilbo, hits the layup, and now it is a 7-point lead, so Delgado making some noise here late. Bulldogs having some trouble in the backcourt here. Bilbo trapped and calls timeout. I'm watching Coach Weathers over there. Does not like what he sees right now. With 5:18 to go, the Bulldogs were in command, and they've let Delgado slip back into this thing. 61-54 with 5:18 to go. He's telling them, guys, just settle down, let's play our game. Hope you've enjoyed this evening's video stream broadcast. As we said, we'll be back Monday night. Same Bulldog Live time, same Bulldog Live channel. Pearl River and Gulf Coast. Renew old acquaintances. Women tip off at 6, the men's game at 8-ish. It's more ish than 8. Men's time, it depends on how long the women's game goes. It'll be 8-ish, let's say. Either way, we hope you join us. It should be a fun little evening of basketball. We've had a fun evening tonight here. The first basketball action of 2013. Now that pass stolen by Delgado. Now going in for the layup, and in is Elfage. And now it's down to a 5-point lead, and the Bulldogs are really having problems with Delgado's defense. Now they get it across the court. Hawkins, I don't know how he put that thing in to stop the bleeding a little bit. The full court press is starting to get under the skin of the Bulldogs, now coming the other way. A nice move by Davis, can't finish it. Bulldogs close to having the rebound. Davis working inside, tries the pass, tipped away by Santiago, and Delgado has possession. 63-56. Gulf Coast now in a bit of a battle here with 4:37 to go. Delgado's not going anywhere, at least right now. Fage over. Davis can't hit on the jumper. 2-on-1 coming back the other way. Bilbo, nice move to go to the hole and convert. 10 points for Chris. And suddenly that leads back up to 9. And now Delgado calls a timeout. Head coach Tommy Smith was feeling it right there, and then Gulf Coast kind of put the kibosh on that mini comeback. 65-56, 4:15 to go here in the contest. And here Coach Weathers telling the guys just kind of standing around and watching on the rebounds instead of getting into it. If you've noticed, if you've been watching the whole broadcast, the camera was in 4:3 aspect ratio. Now it's at 16:9. I think it looks a lot better. Quality you can see. That's what we do here at Gulf Coast. may not even care about the aspect ratio, but we do, because we care about you. And of course, the scoreboard box goes blue again. It's been doing that all night. That's one little quirk we're going to have to tweak, I guess, right? One reason is the scoreboard clock is gone. Mike Sewell in transition with the scoreboard clock. He's going to set it up again as we head towards the finish. Now back to action, 4:11 to go, Bulldogs by 9. Let's see if they turn up the defensive intensity here. That's Tyson McGee for 3. Just like that, it's back to a 6-point lead for Gulf Coast inside 4 minutes to go. Turbo gets it across the timeline, being harassed by Davis. Now inside to Caraway, who loses control, but he is fouled. Stacy will go back to the line and shoot 2. There's 2 out of 4 from the stripe so far tonight. Can't hit that one. Got to hit your foul shots down the stretch. Second one on the way, and that's good. 66-59, 3:42 to go. Bulldogs trying to finish off Delgado here. Weathers Winsel Center. And that's McGee. A long 3, no good. Gets his own rebound. Coach Weathers can't believe that. Guys should have had it. Now inside is Davis with a nice move and a floater. With 3:15 to go, it's back to a 5-point lead, 66-61. Once again, it's a 3-2 trap in the back court. Now Forrest gets it over the timeline to Bilbo. 3 minutes and counting here at Perk. Now inside to Hawkins with the fall-away jumper, no good. Rebound to Delgado. Coming the other way is McGee, and that one's no good. Rebound inside by Bilbo, and I believe he's fouled. We get the scoreboard cam back up and running. Bring the last 2:43. See, if that was the whole screen, we'd all have to take Dramamine. Since it's just in the box, it doesn't hurt the eyes too bad. As Bilbo goes to the line to shoot 2. Chris has 10 points on the night. Make it 11. Trying to increase the lead to 7. And he won't as Delgado rebounds. Down 67-61, 2:39 to go in the second half. Now that's Davis for 3. He drains it, and now it's getting really interesting with 2:31 to go. We've got a 3-point game. Gulf Coast, with 15 minutes to go in this game, really had things in control. In the last 7 or 8 minutes, Delgado woke up and has cut the lead to 3. Let's see what the Bulldogs have. If they got anything left in the tank. In their first game back in 2013 after that long rest, Isaac Moore about to check in for Gulf Coast. Said the Bulldogs 5-0 at home. They won 9 in a row. They're 11-1 overall. Hoping to get that tune-up win before Pearl River comes in on Monday. Gulf Coast will take on Pearl River then go to East Central, then back home the day after Martin Luther King Jr. Day to take on Jones. A tough little stretch coming up for the Bulldogs. A tough little stretch coming up here with 2:31 to go. Gulf Coast nursing a 3-point lead. Delgado with that half-court trap again. The inbound to Santiago. Back to Bilbo. Chris being guarded by Elpage. He gets by him. Gets by McGee. Kicks it out to Hawkins. He fires a three. No good. Rebound. Kicked around underneath. Coming back the other way. It's Davis. And it's a one-point game. Just like that. 2:04 to go. Gulf Coast going to have to finish strong here. And now a turnover to Davis. Can you believe this? Delgado's in front. Unbelievable. Gulf Coast blowing oil here down the stretch. A minute 50 left. They're down by one. How about them apples? The Bulldogs were cruising with a 15-point lead. Delgado has erased that, and now they lead by one, 68-67, and clearly have the advantage. And you can see the looks on the Bulldogs players' faces. They can't believe what's happened here. Still got a minute 49 to go. Possession arrow in favor of Gulf Coast. The Bulldogs in the bonus at the free throw line. You got a lead like that, you can't pack it in until that scoreboard says 0-0-0. I give Delgado credit for really fighting back here. It looked like they were just going through the motions, and then they kicked it into another gear. And they find themselves with a one-point lead. Back on the floor, it's Hawkins, Forrest, Moore, Bilbo, and Santiago. Let's see if they can get the job done here. Trap again, thrown away, but picked up by Bilbo. Now Bilbo gets the layup to give Gulf Coast the lead. Sloppy but effective. Now quickly back the other way. Davis out of control. And a foul called on Bilbo, his third. Bilbo and Santiago, the only ones in any type of discernible foul trouble. 1:40 to go, that's really not a huge issue. At the line, Melvin Davis, who's put in some quality minutes tonight for Delgado. His first shot ties the game at 69. Makes the second one, it would give his team a one-point lead. And no good, we're tied. 1:38 to go. Let's see what the Bulldogs have left in the tank. Elpage working on Bilbo. Bilbo taking it to the hole and draws the foul. That shot was not anywhere close, but he got contact and he'll go to the line. Try this, give his team a lead with 1:27 to go, and this is where the foul shots come in to play in a big way. The first one, back iron. Well, at least the end of this game is going to be entertaining as Chris hits the second one and his team's up by one. Quickly back the other way. It's McGee. Really been a spark plug for Delgado here in the second half. Forrest working on McGee, 1:17 to go. And that's a blocking foul called on Sean Boyd. Tried to set a pick, but he was moving. Gulf Coast retains possession with a minute 14 left. had position but couldn't get set in time now. Delgado harassing Bilbo in the backcourt. He gets it over to Moore. Ball knocked out of bounds. Retained by Gulf Coast. Thought there might have been a foul there, but no harm, at least from the referee's point of view. 1:06 to go. Should be a pretty good finish, folks. Especially if the Bulldogs can pull it out. Bilbo loses control. And with control, coming the other way is McGee. Looked like he double dribbled, but they didn't call it less than a minute to go. Davis takes it into Boyd. Reverse layup, no good, but he's called for the foul. Didn't see much contact there. Let's take a look at that again. Go ahead and run that, Chris. Let's see what we get now. That's okay. Here we go. Whatever the case, doesn't matter. Boyd's going to go to the line to give his team a 1-point lead with 46.8 to go. Down to the wire here at Perkinston. The first one is good and we're tied. Four fouls on Santiago now. 43.1 left. Now the crowd's into it. And he hits it. Delgado up by 1. The girls team over to my right, cheering the men on. 40 seconds to go. Gulf Coast down by 1. Bilbo across the timeline to Moore, back to Bilbo, driving the lane, and he's fouled. So with 29 to go, he'll go to the line to try to give Gulf Coast the lead. Back and forth we go. If you're looking for a fantastic finish, you come to the right place. 29.9 left, Delgado by 1. They were down by 15 earlier. And they cut the lead. Chris Bilbo at the line to shoot 2. And get his team back in front. Chris with 14 points on the night. Let's see what the freshman from Jackson can do here. First one on the way and good. Ice water in his veins on that one. Tied again at 71. Caraway comes in to spell Santiago. Now to give Gulf Coast the lead. Chris taking his time. And rattles it home. Bulldogs by 1. Coming back the other way. It's Davis. Fasten your seatbelt. Shot clock is off. Moore guarding Davis. 16 to go. Now it's Forrest. Called for the foul. He couldn't get position in time, and Davis runs into him. The good news is, let's see, wait a minute. Yep, they're now in the bonus. That is the 16th foul. It's only the second one on Forrest. But that sends Melvin Davis to the line for a 1-and-1. Referee's making sure about that. 14.1 to go. Gulf Coast up by 1. Let's see if this one comes down to the last shot. In the words of former NFL wide receiver Terrell Davis, get your popcorn ready for the finish of this one. And, oh my goodness, Forrest tipped it in for Delgado. Unbelievable. And now they throw it away at the other end. Oh my goodness. It was rattling around, and I think Darius Forrest tipped it in for Delgado. Whatever the case, it's a bucket. It counted. And Delgado leads by 1, and they have the ball. take you back through what happened. Davis missed the free throw. He was hanging up on the rim. We'd have to go back and look at it again, but I think Darius Forrest tipped it in accidentally. Wow. And then on the inbound, they lost control and turned it over. So we'll reset it. 11.1 to go. Delgado leading by 1. And you're going to see the Bulldogs try to foul quickly here. Still plenty of time. What a crazy turn of events here. Perkinston. Bulldogs comfortably in front. And a nice second half surge, and then Delgado just woke up and brought the pain. 73-72. The Dolphins leading. 11.1 to go. Dolphins in the bonus, Gulf Coast in the double bonus. Now the inbound pass is deep. And Gulf Coast trying to get a foul, but they can't. And finally, Melvin Davis is fouled by Forrest with 6.5 to go. That deep pass helped the Dolphins take about 6 seconds off the clock. Third foul on Darius. Davis hits the first one. And this one's big because if he hits this one, then it's a 3-point lead. Gulf Coast has to hit a tray to tie it. Second one on the way is good. 3-point lead, 6 to go. Here comes Bilbo. Across the timeline. Puts it up. That's going to be no good, and that's going to be a Delgado win. Wow. So the final for Perkinston, Delgado comes from behind to win at 75-72 and break a 9-game winning streak for the Bulldogs. Gulf Coast now 11-2 on the year. And got to be frustrated after dropping that one to the Dolphins. Kind of an anticlimactic ending, an exciting one though for the viewers at home. So that's going to do it with Gulf Coast dropping a 75-72 decision to Delgado. As we said, we'll be back Monday night when Gulf Coast hosts Pearl River in MAC-JC South Division action. For all of our Bulldog Live crew, I'm Bill Snyder. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast here from Perkinston. I want to wish you guys a good night, and we will see you on Monday.